Well, hello there, everybody. It is the day after Christmas, Saturday, and it's about 5:29 in the evening. I hope you can see me okay. I'm trying to get this light adjusted, and I decided to wear my old cowboy hat. So, if John Bridevaux sees this, this is the hat that I wore in that photograph I sent you a few months back, when I was a little younger, of course. But anyway, I hope everybody had a good holiday. Uh, I had a pretty good holiday. Went down to see my brother. And they gave me a little bit of cash, which helped tremendously. I was surprised what they gave me, so I'll take it. I should put a sign out. Don't worry about gifts. Cash, please. But anyway, so I hope everybody's doing fine. And decided I'd share some of my thoughts with you. It's been a few days. I like to wait a few days and depending on what happens, just share my ideas and thoughts and what I've seen on television and newspapers, whatever. But we're somehow hanging in there with Donnie. I'll tell you what, I just never get surprised at what he's gonna do. Never. But it really took the cake what he did this last time. I had a sneaky suspicion about him when I heard that he was going to sign the bill. I thought, I have a funny feeling he's not going to be so quick to sign it. And damn it if I wasn't right. So anyway, he decided not to sign the bill. Decided to make a video before he went down to Mar-a-Lago, Florida. And of course, he said, well, I think it should go from $600 to $2,000 per person, an American person. And I like that. I like it would be good for $2,000 a person. But I think that Donnie knew that the other Republicans would not like that and they would say no to it. So now they sent down the bill to Florida for him to sign, and he still hasn't signed it yet. Should we be surprised? So anyway, he said something too about pork and stuff like this. Different things that Democrats put in the bill. You know, I don't even want to hear that shit anymore. I mean, after all, who did he give the tax breaks to? He didn't think twice about wanting to spend the money on them. And guess who gets taxed to pay the bill? We do. We do. Not, not the filthy rich. They don't have to pay their fair share. But I think that's going to change when Joe Biden gets in on January 20th. I'm telling you, I'm counting down the days. And I want to thank my buddy, my new friend, Tim Carmel, who he sent me a countdown clock, so to speak. How many days are left, minutes, hours. I love it. Thank you, Tim. I value that, I'll tell you. I think it's down to 20-some days. I don't know exactly. I think it was like 24 or something. I don't know. I don't remember. But let's just put it this way. It's getting lower as the days go by. Thank goodness. But anyway, I often wondered, what's his motive? Why is he doing this? Why is it that he doesn't want to sign the bill? And I think what it is, to Donnie, this is a new toy. Being the President of the United States. Man, that's a powerful position. And it's like a toy. Hey, man, I can do this because I can do this. I'm president. Doesn't matter that it's putting people out of in poverty and everything else. Just so I can do it. And it's like, I think what I was just thinking about this afternoon. I'm thinking he's probably sitting there like, I want everybody to come to me and get down on their knees and say, Donnie, please, please, Mr. President, sign the bill. And then he can sit there and pull a few strings. Well, this is what I want you to do. No, I don't think it's going to be that way, Donnie. So you might as well shove it up your butt where the sun doesn't shine, okay? It's not going to happen. Anyway. I wonder, I don't know how many on here watch CNN, but the other night, I'm not sure what night it was. I think it was the night that Trumpy Dumpty went down to Florida. Chris Cuomo got on, and I love watching him on CNN. I think he comes on at 9 o'clock. I think it's 9. He's on for about an hour. And he gave an impassioned rant when he started his show. And he hit it right on the head. He said what I've been saying the whole time and thinking the whole time, and that is, now he put it, Donnie is the worst president he ever saw. I go a step further, and maybe this is what he meant. He goes, Donald Trump is the worst president in American history. I don't recall any other president being as bad as this guy. But he is. Okay? I mean, after all, he won't sign the pandemic relief. There's how many people, through no fault of their own, okay, they lost their jobs. They can't pay their bills. They may lose the place where they live, their houses if they rent them, or their apartments. And there's a lot of hungry people out there. Have you followed the news and seen the lines? I think they showed in Texas the other day, the lines of cars. I think there were like 2 or 3 rows lined up on the highway waiting to get to the food banks to get food. That's pretty shameful. That's really shameful. And then Donald Trump has the nerve to sit there and say, "Make America great again." I like to imitate, "Make America great again." Yeah, well, they sure did, all right. They made America great, all right. I think this has probably been the worst Christmas for a lot of people. I mean, figure it out. They can't even afford to go out and get presents for their kids. They can't pay their bills. They're starving. I think this has been the worst holiday season for Christmas that I've seen so far. I mean, some people are... I mean, I can say for myself, thank God things are fine, but they're getting tight for me. I mean, I no longer work. I'm retired, but it's not like it used to be. It's going to take some time until Joe Biden and Kamala Harris get everything up and running again. It's going to take time. Didn't take much time for Trump to put things down the toilet, but it's going to take us time to restore. So I'll tell you what, I'm just so glad that the American people voted for proper leadership. I cannot imagine what it would have been like if Donald Trump would have been reelected. That would have been a true nightmare. And thank God it's not going to happen. So anyway. I noticed that Chris Cuomo, he played a clip, and it's true, about what one Republican, his name is Representative Ben Sass, I believe you pronounce it. He's a Republican from Nebraska. I think he's a new Republican representative in the House. And he said of the pardons after Donnie pardoned, that's another thing he did. He not only signed the bill, he pardoned. He had time to pardon some of his criminal buddies. Um, you know, Roger Stone was one of them. Paul Manafort, another one. Yeah, we don't have time to sign the bill, but we'll pardon these guys, man, because they kept their mouths shut and didn't spill the beans about me. So now I'm going to reward them. But anyway, Ben said about that. Ben Sass from Nebraska said of pardons, he goes, "This is rotten to the core." And I like what Chris said. He goes, "Welcome to the party, brother. Welcome to the party." Because that's what the Republican Party has been anymore. It's corrupt. Rotten to the core. You may have a few. There's not many. I know Mitt Romney's one. I don't agree with everything the Republicans want to push for, but one thing I can say about Mitt Romney, he's a man of integrity. And so I agree with him there. But the thing is, we need more people to speak up. And I know there has to be more people that will speak up against this orange-haired dodo, this turd in our house. They got to speak up against him. They're afraid of him. Okay? I mean, they look at it, well, gee, I've got to have a career, Years ago, it never was like this. Years ago, it was, man, the important thing is for me not to lie. I want to be upright. I want to have integrity. That was important. And people, by the way, when they vote for a candidate, that's what they look for. How honest they were. Were they a man or a woman of integrity? Now it's like, oh, well, whoever's votes can be bought. That's who we'll go with. I just can't believe it. I just cannot believe it. Well, anyway, on Christmas Day, Donald Trump had time to play golf. Didn't have time to sign the bill, but he had time to play golf. And guess who he had with him? Phil Graham. Yeah. And we know that because Phil Graham was somehow convinced now that, well, Donald Trump wants to fight for America, and he wants to make sure they all get $2,000 checks. So, it's amazing how easy Lindsay can be convinced. So, I can only imagine. Sometimes I would love to be a fly landing on one of them and know what they said. But anyway, I just get a kick out of Trump when he says, oh, Obama played how many days of golf? When I get into office, I'm not going to have time. I'm going to be so busy working for the American people. Talk about being full of shit. Well, anyway, I wonder about that. I wonder what Donnie's motive is on that. Maybe he wants to buy the votes. He still thinks that somehow he's going to be able to overturn the elections. And as each week goes by, each day goes by, and each week goes by, he's got to, I think he's starting to realize now. It's not going to happen. So, we have January the 6th to look forward to, so I think there's going to be a few nerds in the Republican Party that will try to hold things up. I heard today that it's probably going to be a long day. One of the representatives was on, and she said it's going to be a long day. And it probably will be, but in the end, they're going to vote for Joe Biden. They're going to confirm what the Electoral College says, and they're going to pass it through. So Donnie Boy is not going to make it. He's going to lose. He's already lost, but it's going to be again confirmed that Joe Biden will be President of the United States, and Kamala Harris will be Vice President of the United States. So he needs to put that in his craw, okay? Enjoy it, because that's what it's going to be. That's how the future is going to be. So anyway. Oh, I wanted to mention too, and I'm sure people have been following this on the news, there was a big explosion in Nashville on Christmas morning around, I guess it was around 6:30. So they're still investigating on what that could be, but from what I understand, they found the remains from one person so far. And I suspect there's probably a person was in the van. They had a pre-recorded message. Now, how they did that, I don't know if it was a recording or what, but it was an automated warning using a female's voice to evacuate the area and that the bomb would go off in 15 minutes. I think they were off by a few minutes, but indeed, it was an RV, I believe, or some vehicle went off and blew up and caused quite a bit of damage. I think there were like 3 people injured, but they're not life-threatening. So it's going to be interesting to see who was behind it, if they'll find out who was behind it. I'm sure they will. I thought right away, well, it wouldn't surprise me if it's an extremist right-wing group, but too early to tell yet. They're still combing the region. They're working from the outside in, from the point of where it blew up. Well, they go to the outer fringes. They were explaining how it worked. They go from the outer perimeter in a big circle, because this explosion threw a lot of items quite a distance. So they want to make sure they get all the evidence from the outside and go inward like this to the point of where the explosion happened. But I've been keeping an eye on it. There's no great news as of yet, but give them a few days, they'll find out what happened, I'm sure. I mean, if there's any part of that vehicle left the van or whatever, and if they can get the serial number on that, I'm sure they'll find out who did it and what happened. They talked to witnesses. You know, was this vehicle, was it a rental, like out in Oklahoma, the big explosion they had out there back in the 90s? They were able to take, I believe, the serial number. They found out that it was a rental vehicle. I don't know what the situation is on this. Like I said, it's still new in the investigation, but I'm surprised we hadn't had more stuff like this happen. I'm kind of interested to see who was behind it and what their motive was. Now, it could have been something maybe internal, because they had a park near the AT&T building, from what I understand, and they temporarily had lost 911 communications. Now, they have that back up and running, but the last I understood was there was still some land phones that were not working, but I'm sure they'll get that up and running. It could have been a disgruntled employee. It could have been something entirely different. We don't know, so the jury's out on that yet. We got to wait until they're done their investigation. But anyway, that's about all I have for tonight. Again, I hope that everybody had a good holiday, and I certainly did. I just can't believe it. It's the 26th already. 5 more days to go for the whole year, and you know something? I'm not going to miss the year 2020. I think this has been a pretty shitty year. You know, and that's putting it mildly. I mean, who would have ever thought that we would get a virus that would cause a pandemic? But we're dealing with it. Glad they got the vaccines. It just came on the news today. They have, I believe it was over 2 million vaccinations now that were given out. So that's good. I'm going to wait until it's my turn, and when it's my turn, I'll get mine, and 2 weeks later get the second shot, or whatever. But anyway, I hope everybody had a good holiday. I'm hoping that you have a great new year. I may try to do another rant before the end of the year. We'll see what happens here. But I want everybody to stay safe, take care of yourself. As my one friend John Bridvo says, stay away from nasty people, wash your hands constantly, wear your masks if you're going out. If you don't have to go out, don't go out in public. I might take a walk later, I don't know. It's just kind of cold. I might just pass on that. It's in the 20s. But that's mild though, because come January it'll probably be in the teens and single digits for a few days. It doesn't last long, but anyway, I have a funny feeling the winter this year is not going to be as mild as it was last year. But we'll see. We'll see. So, again, thanks for listening and watching, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'd love to hear from you. I do have an address. It's John Unell. That's Unell. P.O. Box 469, Schuylkill Haven. And you could just put SCH period Haven. H-A-V-E-N. That's H-A-V as in Victor, E-N as in Nancy. P-A. And there again, you can just put P-A. Zip code is 17972-0469. Drop me a letter. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Like I said, I'm not much of an exuberant guy. I don't scream and shout. And if something really gets me pissed off, I might get on and do a 3-minute rant like I did the last time. But I'm pretty much laid back. But anyway, yeah, keep in touch, watch, subscribe. Feel free to comment on the page. Let me know what you think. And thanks for taking the time to watch and listen. And don't forget to do your part. Okay? We voted the orange asshole out. So I look forward to January 20th. I know you will too. And the next big event's going to be the New Year's Day celebration, New Year's Eve celebration, I should say. And hopefully the nerd in the White House, who's now soaking up the sun in Mar-a-Lago, will sign the bill like he's supposed to. I don't know. I have a funny feeling he's gonna be a jerk about it, but we'll see. Okay, well, take care of yourself. And oh, by the way, vote for those 2 Democratic candidates in Georgia. I do have the web addresses in my earlier videos. I don't have it here with me. But do what you can and send them your votes. I heard today on the news that the Democrats have surpassed the Republicans down there as far as monetary contributions. So that's fantastic. But the people need to get out and vote down there. I believe they're able to vote. So get out your vote down there and get these Democratic candidates in. We need them. I believe the one is Reverend Warnock and the other one's John Ossoff. Get them in. They've got some great ideas. It will give the Senate the majority that we need for Democratic control. Because if we get the Republicans in, I can guarantee you the next 2 years will be nothing but bullshit and fighting and carrying on with the Republicans. And it will be hard to get things pushed through. So vote these 2 Democratic Senate candidates in. Come, I believe it's January the 5th. Okay, well, take care, have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night. Bye-bye.